Hello there, my crafty friends. Welcome to a Facebook Live with Daryl Walter of Pickled Peppers Creative Cafe at pickledpepperscreativecafe.com. Welcome to Crafty Thursday. How are you? Come on in. We're going to make a little crafty today. I have a fun fold card for you using super cute designer series paper, and I hope you're going to like it. I see my friend Amy is watching. Hi Amy, happy Friday Eve, happy crafty Thursday. My friend Anna is watching. Hello there, Anna. How are you guys? Thank you so much for being here. Happy crafty Thursday. Or what is it, you guys? Happy Friday Eve. That's right, it's almost the weekend. Super excited. Thank you, Amy. Happy Friday Eve. So I'm super excited that it's Friday Eve. I'll be more excited when it's Friday at the end of the day. However, those two things combined do not contain or top my excitement about being here with you guys tonight. So thank you so much. Thank you for coming. I'm going to take just a second here while we're waiting for people to find me in their newsfeed, to show up in their newsfeed. And then we're going to go ahead and get started. 1 second, I have to reach a little further. I am setting up my other device so I can see what I'm sharing with you guys. Okay, dokie, one moment. Let's just find myself here. Turn the volume down. There I am. Look at that. Okay, so I see my friend Beth is watching. Hi, Beth. Howdy to you. I would tip my hat if I had one. Happy Friday Eve. Thank you so much for being here. So, how are you guys? Anything new this week? Nothing new for me other than my excitement about being here. I have a super cute project to show you tonight. I'm going to show you some designer series paper that's out of the new catalog. My friend Marie is watching. Marie, hello. Happy crafty Thursday and happy Friday Eve. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm going to show you something out of the new catalog, actually the designer series paper from the new catalog. And this card that we're going to be making tonight, my friend Julie is watching. Hi Julie, happy crafty Thursday. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm making a cute fun fold card, and I actually made it recently for a friend that I needed to give a gift to, and I liked it so much I thought I actually even changed my mind about tonight's project so that I could show you how to do this fun fold card. So I'm pretty excited about it. It doesn't take me much though. Anything crafty, you guys know how excited I am about it. Yes, you noticed that, Amy. So did you notice, you guys, that I'm not sure if you can see it, but I've hung up some inspiration behind me. And so these are some of the cards that I have been creating, and some of them that I've created on my Facebook Live. And so I thought I'd put them up there for inspiration for me and for you. So thank you guys so much for the hearts and the loves. You know that I love that. All right, so we're going to get started here pretty quickly. Let's just see if there was anything that I wanted to tell you. Let's go ahead and get turned down and we'll start creating. I should probably get a grid paper for my desktop here. But let me show you the designer series paper that we're going to be working with, and we'll go ahead and get turned down. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? One moment. Let's see if I can do this gently. Here we go. Okay, there's a little bit of a lag there. Let's tighten this up here. Are you guys able to see me okay? I'll get a grid paper here on my desktop in 1 second. Oh, let's adjust this just a little bit more. Are you guys able to see me okay? If you're able to see the desktop okay, just wave at me or give me a little thumbs up or something. Okay, thank you for that. I can't tell. I'm using a different device to show what I'm showing you because I had a little bit of a technical difficulty. So, all right. Let's get a nice fresh grid paper here. So, tonight the designer series paper that I'm going to be showing you is called Hand Penned. And let me show you these papers. I love them because I wish I had thought ahead to show you guys the designer or the new end colors, but I think that I've shown them to you a couple of times in the last couple of lives. However, the reverse side of this paper, first of all, let me show you the flowery side. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So here's the flowery side of the designer series paper. So they look like field flowers. That's what I think. Do you guys think that? I feel like they look like field flowers. But I love the soft colors of them, but I'm super excited that they have coordinating reverse sides, which Stampin' Up! Is pretty good at this. I know you guys have heard me say this probably 1,000 times before. But look at the reverse side. Let me show you. Isn't that gorgeous? I love the pastels and I love the new in colors, and I think they just work really, really well. So this is called Hand Penned, and actually this designer series paper coordinates with the Hand Penned. Thank you for the love. It coordinates with the Hand Penned suite, and I'll kind of show it to you here. It's on page 104. I found it ahead of time, but it comes with this stamp set, and it's actually a bundle, so there are coordinating dies that go along with it. And remember, when it's a bundle, you get 10% off. So one of the things that I like to do when we have a new catalog is I like to go through and purchase all of the designer series paper, whether I get the bundle or not. And this time around, I did get a couple of flower bundles, but I did try to break it up because I love floral and I tend to gravitate towards it. And this time I wanted to challenge myself a little bit more to use things that aren't so florally, or words. Words are my other vice. But it is a nice bundle, and you can see here how the colors just coordinate together really, really well. They're nice and soft and bright at the same time. Can I say that? Is that a thing? Soft and bright at the same time? Okay, so when I turned down, I think you guys saw the project that we're going to be making tonight, so let me go ahead and show it to you. This is a fun fold with a belly band. Isn't this so pretty? This Peekaboo Peach, I'm telling you guys, I don't even know. I am so in love with it, and I think it works really good. I'm thinking this might be mint macaroon that you see. Let me take a look at the back here and I can tell you, yes, that's exactly what it is. So it's working together with the mint macaroon. I just love the colors. And then you guys already know I love our daisy punches. This is the medium daisy punch. I couldn't resist taking the opportunity to use it because I use it every chance I can get. But I thought it meshed well with this. So let me go ahead and take this off and show you the magic here. Now on your card, when you create this, you're going to stamp a sentiment on the inside. I did not take the time to do so because I, as usual, not sure. When I create, I like to be able to use the cards in the projects that I'm creating, and I'm not quite sure. I have a lot of birthdays coming up, but I'm not quite sure what I'll use this for, so I didn't stamp the inside. But this is a lot more simple than you guys think that it is, so let's go ahead and show you how I made it. And then I'll tell you also that the sentiment there came from the Enjoy the Moment stamp set, and I used this quite a while ago, and I love this. I know it's kind of weird and different, but I love this stamp set. Anyways, there's where the sentiment came from, in case you wanted to know that. Let's go ahead and put that aside. And then I just use black Memento. So I have a piece of 12-inch designer series paper. It's the designer series paper that I use for the card, so I'm going to go ahead and use the leftover. So let me put the whole pack aside because we're not going to need that. But I am going to do some cutting because I kind of wanted you guys to have an idea of how the cutting went. And then I'll just tell you that I went ahead and did the die cutting off camera. So you don't have to watch me do that portion of it. Oh, Julie, that's a fantastic idea. I have a little bit of lag today in the comments, so if I don't catch it, know that I will go back and respond to it. I'm using a different device, and so it's several seconds behind me, so I'm not seeing them come up right away. But you are absolutely right. So Julie said, you guys, that you could use this as a picture frame. This could absolutely be a keepsake and be giftable. So you would put the picture right in the inside. I love that idea. Love it, love it, love it. Actually, I'll go ahead and leave this off. All right, so I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer, and we'll do a little cutting and scoring because I kind of want to show you so that you'll have the visual of how I did it. And also, if you are going to recreate this, I want you to be able to come back here to the live to recreate this yourself. So we are going to need, first of all, with the 12-inch piece of designer series paper, and I do want to caution you, if it is directional, you're going to want to make sure you cut the long sides in the direction that is up and down to the pattern. And what I mean by that is, our first piece, we're going to cut the designer series paper for the two flaps here, and they are 1 1/8 inch. And because they're going long up and down, I want to make sure that I'm cutting the paper long up and down as well. So I don't want to cut it like this because it won't look right. Okay, so 1 1/8 of an inch. We're going to go ahead and cut a strip there, and we need two pieces that are 1 1/8 of an inch. And I actually think I'm going to use this side of the designer series paper because it has more of the peach color. And I just desire that because I love that peekaboo peach. So 1 1/8 of an inch, and then it needs to be 5 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to cut two of those, and this little strip is enough for that. So 5 3/8, and then we'll just do it again. 5 3/8. 1, 2, 3, there we go. Ooh, I'm gonna keep that in. Let's turn this around. There we go. All right, so now next we are going to need 4 pieces of designer series paper, and they're going to go here. So we'll need one for each side of the front, and then when we open it, we'll need one for each side of the mat that's the sentiment mat, I'll call it. So we'll need 4 pieces. They're all the same size. They are 2 by 5 3/8. So I'm going to cut 2 2-inch strips from the designer series paper. So I'll just cut it 2 and 2. Actually, that's a little bit short, so let's grab another piece of the designer series paper. I didn't have quite enough. I made a boo-boo when I was first making it, so I thought I'd have enough there and I didn't. So we'll just grab another piece here. I'm going to save this piece though, because I can use that for later. And then once again, I'm gonna pick this side of the designer series paper just because you see how there's an open space here that doesn't have a lot of the Peekaboo Peach, and I happen to like it. So we're going to cut it at 2 inches. So 2 by 12 is what we started with. But remember, we need to cut each piece down. We need 4 pieces, and each of them need to be 5 3/8. So we'll go ahead and cut this down to 5 3/8. There's one, and we'll do it again. So I think that you should be able to get 2 of these cards from one 12 by 12 piece of designer series paper, I think. Okay, so 5 3/8. Let's do it again. And then we'll have our 4 pieces. I'm going to turn this one around. 5 3/8. If you don't know where the 3/8 of an inch is, it is the little line that is between 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch. All right, so we have our 4 pieces here. And then I've gone ahead for the inside. I have a piece of basic white that is 5 1/4 by 4. So I've gone ahead and cut that off of camera too, so you didn't have to watch me do that. The final cut that we're going to make is with the cardstock. Now, you will only be able to get 1 card out of a piece of 8 1/2 by 11 cardstock. Because for the card base, you need the cardstock to be 5 1/2 by 11. All right, so we're gonna cut it the long way. Notice how I'm cutting here. I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2, but I'm cutting it 5 1/2 on the long edge. So let's go ahead and do that. Uh-oh, I think it might be time for a new blade. Did you see that? So let's set this aside, and then for the belly band, we need a 1 inch strip by a 9 1/2 inch piece of cardstock that comes from the same. So you're going to cut the belly band, and then you'll save this piece for something. You can do something with it later. And then let's go ahead and cut down here to 9 1/2 for our belly band. Give or take, it doesn't really matter. You can cut it down if you need to, if that's a little bit too long. All right, so I think that I've gotten all, oh no, we have scoring to do. Let me bring that back in. We have scoring to do. That's the most important reason that I didn't do this off of camera. I wanted to show you what we were doing. Okay, so we have our 5 1/2 by 11 piece of cardstock. We're going to score it. Let's see, our first score is 1, and I think it's going to be 1 1/4 of an inch. So we're going to score at 1 1/4 of an inch. And then we're going to make the second score at 3 3/8 of an inch. There we go. Now, for the sake of ease, we could actually, for the sake of ease, we're going to turn it around and repeat the score lines, but you could score down the cardstock if you wanted to. I just find it easier to flip it on the other side and repeat the 1 1/4 of an inch. And then again, the 3 3/8 of an inch. Much easier. I think the other 2 dimensions, if you went down, are like 7 5/8 and 9 3/4, but I find it easier just to flip the cardstock around and make the same score on each end of it, if that makes sense. All right, now I think we're ready to go ahead and put the paper trimmer away. But if not, I have it handy, so we'll be able to grab it back out. All right, so we're going to kind of do an accordion fold. So you will need your bone folder. You're gonna wanna go ahead and make nice creases there. So we're going to make a nice crease, and then we'll fold the next fold inside. And then I'll just flip it over and we'll do the same thing. We'll fold that outer piece back towards you, the outer flap, and then we'll fold this one in. There we go. So can you see how that works there? So let's go ahead and give this a sharp crease. Okay. Let's just make sure these are nice and creased. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is grab some adhesive, and we'll bring in our designer series paper. Remember, we have the 2 smaller pieces and then the 4 larger pieces. Now, when you do this, the nice thing is to find designer series paper that coordinates, that both sides are complementary or coordinating with each other. That makes deciding on a paper to complete your project a whole lot more simple. So that's what I've done here. So I'm going to go ahead and start adhering and affixing. And we'll start with the 2 smaller outer flaps. Just make sure, again, your paper, if it's directional, and that matters, make sure that you get that going in the right direction. So there's not a whole lot of margin here because we're working with just 1/8 of an inch. So make sure that you're careful with your placement. Otherwise, you guys know me, I am not, when it comes to attaching paper, I am not a big measurer. I do everything that I can not to have to measure. All right, so let's just turn this towards me, and the same thing here, just to remember that it's 1/8 of an inch, so the margin there is pretty thin. There we go. Okay, now for the 2 inside flaps, you want the same pattern that you have for the smaller flaps. So go ahead and grab 2 pieces of designer series paper for the inside, and then for the outer side we'll use the reverse of the designer series paper. All right, let's go ahead and adhere these down. And again, there's that thin margin, but if you're comfortable, I don't think you would be able to measure that if you wanted to. Anyways, look at how thin of a margin that is. You kind of almost have to eyeball it. But I am all for that. All for. All right, and then we'll do this side. And if you guys have watched me for a while, you would know that right at the moment I am rocking it out, because I usually, at some point, I won't say usually, but there have been times where I've adhered upside down or some wonky thing, and this time I actually have everything in the right direction. That's why I keep telling you that, because I've actually done it. Okay. At this point, you'll go ahead and add the mat for the inside. This is where you will stamp your sentiment if you're going to do so. I am going to stamp my sentiment later, once again, because I want to be able to really use this card to send to someone for an occasion, and I have to find an occasion where giving flowers is suitable. So I will do my stamping later, but you could do your stamping at this point. And then I'll go ahead and add it here. And then finally, we'll flip this over and we will attach our final 2 pieces of designer series paper on either side here. So let's go ahead and do that. So a little bit of cutting and scoring and folding here, but this is really an easy card to put together, you guys. And I'm telling you, you will wow your friends and family. And like Julie said, I really love her idea that you could make this kind of a keepsake by adding a photo. Wouldn't that be a sweet birthday or a graduation gift or something like that if you added a sweet photo of someone on the inside? I love that idea. You guys are creative. That's why you're here. I knew it. You guys are amazing. Amazing. Okay, there we go. So now can you see how that comes together? All right, so the final thing that we have to do here, we'll go ahead and set this aside and we will do our very simple stamping. The stamping is very minimal. And again, the stamp set, the sentiment that I chose is from the Enjoy the Moment. And that's exactly what the stamp says, enjoy the moment. And this is a red rubber stamp, so I'm not going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat because there's not a reason to. There's already spongy foam on this stamp. And I'm stamping with the Memento Black. So let's go ahead and give that a generous inking up. And we'll set this aside. This is all the stamping that's required. So I'm going to kind of stamp it towards the top right of my circle die cut. And this is what I mean. You see that? So I'm going to stamp it there so I have room for the rhinestones and the flowers. I forgot to show you guys earlier, however. If you notice, let me show you the belly band. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but I'm going to show you the entire pack. You see the shimmer paper here? Are you able to see it? I'm not sure how that is coming through. Maybe, oh, let's see. Let's move down a little bit. I'm not in the right place. I tried to get it close enough for you guys to see, but let me show you the entire pack. This is kind of vellum. Let's see what we're calling it. We are, yeah, that's exactly. This is in the new catalog, and we're calling it the In Color Shimmer Vellum. Oh, you guys, let me show you this. So I'm definitely getting more. I love this. Oh, here's a single piece. I love this. I'm not sure if you guys can see the shimmer. It's the vellum, but there's a light shimmer on it. This is so beautiful, and it's in all of the in colors. I'll show those to you as well. Can you catch that? I'm not sure it's coming over the camera well, but so all of the in colors here. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It is so beautiful. You guys, I'm going to be using this quite a bit. Loving it. Loving, loving, loving. So I thought I'd show you that. I used it for the flower. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my medium daisy punch. And I'll punch a flower with this. And then remember that extra piece of cardstock that I had left over? I'll grab that. Uh-oh. Kind of stuck there. And punch a daisy from here. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere our stamped circle. Now these die cuts, I think they're called layered circles, layering circles, something like that. I happen to love circles. I'm glad that we kept these around. There are tons of different size circles, some of them scalloped and some of them round in that die cut pack. So I love it. It's one of my favorites. And then I'm going to go ahead and layer my flowers. So I'm going to put the shimmery on top because it's beautiful and I love it. And to do so, I'm going to grab some liquid Tombow. I'll just put Oh, that's coming out of there kind of quickly. Whoa, that's a big dollop. Great big dollop. Let me, oh no, that's my belly band. I can't use that. Grab a piece of scrap paper here. I'm just going to smear that and take away a little bit of that glue because that's quite a bit. Okay, so then I will go ahead and layer my daisies, staggering them in between. I'll show it to you in just a second. There we go. See what I've done there? Okay, and then I'm going to add another dollop of liquid glue to my die cut circle there. And adhere the daisy right about there. There we go. Okay, so can you see how that is coming along? All right, so to finish it up, let's go ahead and bring our card back in. So to finish it up, to create the belly band, I am going to use Stampin' Seal Plus because I want a strong hold for the belly band because the recipient will be sliding on and off, and so I want to make sure that that this stays intact. And for placement, I'm not going to do any measuring. I'm actually going to put the end of the cardstock approximately near the center, just slightly over the center, and hold it in place. And I'm just going to take my fingers and bend it around the back, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Kind of take my fingers, and I'm going to be careful to overlap it evenly. Did you see what I did there? And now I'll go ahead and add a little bit of Stampin' Seal to one end, and I'll go ahead and fold it shut. So I'll hold it in place here, hold it in place here to make sure that I have it kind of even. There we go. So there's the belly band. And then finally, I'm going to, using Stampin' Seal Plus again, I'll put a couple of passes of the adhesive right on the belly band, and then I will place the die cut, the layered die cut, right in the center of the card. There we go. And then to finish, I am using, you know, we have to have bling. There's no way that we can not have bling. So let's go ahead and add our bling here. I'm using just the basic jewels rhinestone. Oh, here they are. I'll grab my scissors. My take your pick tool is somewhere around here, but for the center of the flower, I'm going to use the larger rhinestone. You notice how there are different sizes of rhinestone, so I'm going to use the very largest one right in the center, and then I'm going to use two of the smallest ones for accents. And I'm just going to, as usual, sprinkle them around. You could use as many as you want to. You could use 5 on there if you wanted to, but I decided on 3. I thought that was a good number. So there it is, our finished card. Let's see, we'll put the other one back together. There we go. All right, isn't this the sweetest, prettiest, softest card? I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh yes, thank you, Marie. I think it's pretty too. I just love it, and I just love the colors. I love that you're able to break up some of the busy of the floral pattern of the designer series paper by flipping it over and using the coordinating side. It really makes all the difference. I think that's fantastic. It's a nice little tip to have there. So, all right, you guys, that's what I have for you tonight. I really hope that you like it, and I hope more than that you make it. If you make it, tag me and let me know. That would make my heart that's this big go to this big. I'd be super excited. So if you make it, let me know. Let's go ahead and turn you up, and then I can say thank you once again and say good night to you. Hello, and wish you well for the weekend. Wish you a crafty weekend. Something a little bit wonky with my holder, actually. I think I have my device upside down, but I'm here. I made it, and we made a cute card. I hope you like it. So I will get the dimensions in the description above so that you can have them to refer to, and then you'll have the live here to refer to as well. And get crafty if you find time this weekend. Get crafty. Do something crafty. I try to make it a point to. You guys inspire me. You're my reason to. You show up, and so I show up for you. And it makes my heart happy, and so it keeps me creative, and I love it. I think creativity is good for the soul. It's certainly good for my soul. Thank you so much, Beth. So with that, oh, one thing I wanted to tell you too is I will be, if you are on my mailing list, you got an email from me with some crafty dates. Something that I didn't realize, and I think someone may have even told me, is that I announced a bingo card class for May 28th, and when I scheduled it, I didn't realize that it was Memorial Day weekend. So I've had to reschedule it, push it out a couple of weeks. So I'm going to send you a new email with some revised dates. So look for that, because I have a couple of extra classes coming up, a scrapbooking class and a bingo class, and I'm really excited. It'll be my first bingo, so I'm really excited. I'm excited because I get to give stuff away, which is amazing. That makes me super happy. It's fun. It's something fun to do, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to scrapbooking because that's my lane. That's my jam. That's my first love. So be looking for that. And if you're not on my mailing list, I will put the information above. So you might want to get on it to make sure that you're not missing out on where I'm crafting at. And I actually have noticed too, I've been having a few, Facebook is changing things. I've made posts and then I don't see them, and I create another post or event. And also something has changed with what they're allowing, and so I want to make sure that you guys know. If you want to know where I'm creating, I want to make sure you find me and I find you, and we're juntos together. So all right, have a fantastic weekend, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the loves and the likes, and you know what, I will be back here with you next week. Same place, same time, to create something new with you. So get crafty this weekend. Have a fantastic weekend. I will see you soon. Ciao.